Hey, check this out, homie. I know we can hit a lick. Where? The little store we be going to all the time, right up the street. I figure since we always there all the time and we know the store, might as well just go ahead and hit a lick. Steal some stuff. What we stealing? I'll let you know. In the words of Jay Williams, Let's Live Life, you have got to be the stupidest Yo, it's your boy Southern Cal. I'm back at you with another video. Check this out. Before we get into this video, I encourage y'all to please put some pressure on that like button. Put some pressure on that subscribe button. Also, hit that notification bell so you will get a notification every time I drop a new video. Now, let's get to it. So, as you can see by the title here, I got an interesting story for y'all. So, here we go. It's a crazy one. So, that when I was about, I was a teenager. I was about 14. 14, 15. But I'm pretty sure I was around about 14 years old. And me, I was raised by my grandma. You know, grandmothers are like the pillars for a lot of young black men like myself. And my grandmother, you know, she was a pillar, you know, and even today she's in her 70s and she still gets around like she's young. And it's a blessing. And she raised me from a pup, you know, and did the best she could by me. You know what I'm talking about? But not even she could stop me from doing some of the stupidest, craziest stuff and making some of the stupidest, craziest decisions as a child. My grandma did everything she could to protect me, keep me out of trouble. You know, she worked the church's chicken job for 30 plus years to take care of me. You know what I'm talking about? So she did all that she could. But you know me being raised without a father and, you know, all types of stuff, man. You know, I'm out in the streets. You know, that's just what, you know, I was head first out there. Like, I love the streets. So I had this homeboy at the time who I was always hanging around. We was always together. I was, you know, always coming over his house all the time. But he would come over my house, but not so much because my grandma didn't really want him around. My grandma, I wouldn't say she hated him, but I would say that she had a very, very strong dislike for this dude. He's going to remain nameless. She did not want me to be around him at all. Like, it was times where she would even tell me, if I get off work and I catch you over his house, because he lived like right around the corner from us. I mean, when I say like right around the corner, I do mean right around the corner. It's like a few steps and you there. Because he used to live like directly across the street from my great grandmother. Lord rest her soul. And she did not like him. And I always wonder why she didn't like him. You know, having parents and having good parents who actually care about their kids, like my grandmother and my mama cared about me, and my great grandmother, you know, who cared about me, they see what we're not able to see. It's just like, you know, now that I've grown and I'm a grown man now and I got kids. I got a wife, I got kids, I got a family. Me and my wife, we try to tell our kids certain things, not to hate on them or not to, you know, stop them from getting their flex on or whatever, but it's just, we can see things that they cannot see. Because they're living in the now. We see things from a futuristic point of view. And that's how my grandma was. She saw things that were going to happen in the future. And she knew that this dude was going to be a bad influence on me. But I couldn't stop hanging around him because I kind of looked up to him. And even though we were both teenagers, I think he was like a year, maybe 2 years older than me, if I ain't mistaken. So I looked up to him. So it was hard for me to stop hanging around him. So what happened was, all the days that we didn't have to go to school and the days when I got out of school, I would sneak and go hang with him. I remember when my grandma used to get off around 4:30 every day. And after she told me to not let her catch me hanging around him when she get off work. She got off work one day and she caught me. She caught me on his front porch. She passed by. And I was like, oh shoot. She done caught me. So now I'm going home. I'm on my way home. I'm all nervous and all that, man. But she played it smooth though. She played it smooth. Told me to come on in the house. Come on in the house. Go take a bath real quick. Because we getting ready to go somewhere. Oh, all right then. Cool. No, all right. I'm thinking everything cool. I'm thinking, well, maybe she didn't see us. Oh, I don't know. Okay. Let me go take a bath then. I said, well, where my clothes at? What clothes I'm going to change into? I'll get my clothes first. Now you don't need your clothes. I got them. I'll get them for you. She was setting me up the whole time. Went, got in the bathtub, took a bath and all that. I grabbed the towel, dried off, and I got the towel wrapped around me. So I opened the door, and I'm like, "Hey, you know what? Where my clothes, man?" When I opened that door, man, she snatched me out that bathroom, and I'm talking about, man, she beat piss down my legs. I'm butt booty naked. I'm talking about in my full birthday suit. I'm talking about bucket naked, no clothes on. And I'm talking about I'm talking about she laid into me, boy. She wham my behind, she whooping my stuff, boy. I'm talking about killing me. And she's like, yeah, I told you not to be hanging around that boy. I told you not to be hanging around him. And I'm just like, oh my gosh, man. I'm talking about, man, when I say that lady did not play the radio, she ain't play the radio. But even a whooping couldn't keep me away from him. Sometimes you got to learn things the hard way as a child. You got to learn things the hard way. And in this situation right here, I had to learn things the hard way. So, back to me and the homie. We would be chilling every day. Well, every chance we got, whenever, we were out of school, we didn't have school or something like that or whatever, or we was out for spring break or whatever, we chill. Or whenever my grandma had to go to work, because my grandma, she worked a lot, and to pay the bills. So whenever she was gone and I ain't have school, we was chilling. So all day long, whenever we got together, we would just be chilling on the block, chilling, politicking, kicking the actual factuals, and all that type stuff. And we would be smoking Black and Miles because he had got me hooked on Black and Miles. I got introduced to Black and Miles through him. So we would be just puffing Black and Miles, puffing Black and Miles, puffing Black and Miles all day long. We were too young to get Black and Miles. We teenagers, so we too young to go buy tobacco. So what we did was we got this guy named Jabbo. Man, I had a lot of love for Jabbo. Jabbo was one of the OGs, man. Jabbo, he was always next door to us because we've had the same next door neighbors for years. My grandmother still to this day has those same next door neighbors. And Jabbo was always he was always over there next door. Always next door. And I'm talking about Jabbo was the coolest person you can meet. Always laid back. Just always kind-hearted. He was just a all-around cool dude, man. I mean, man, rest in peace to Jabbo. We would see Jabbo, and Jabbo, because we were too young, we would ask Jabbo to buy us some Black and Milds. So we would give him the money to have him go and buy us like a few boxes of Black and Milds. And we would give him a Black and Mild, a box of Black and Milds, and then cool, we just go on our separate ways. I mean, you know, even exchange. You know, we do this, you know, you scratch my back, I scratch yours. And Jabbo would do this for us all the time. All the time. Jabbo always looked out for us, didn't complain not one time, not once did he, y'all little Negro too young. Y'all ain't blah. No, Jabbo didn't do that not one time, man. Jabbo always looked out, man. He was an older guy, like I said, and you know, anytime we wanted some Black and Milds, we just go find Jabbo. You know, because Jabbo wasn't hard to find. Jabbo was always walking around. I don't even know if Jabbo even had a place to lay his head at times. I just know that he was always next door to us all the time. That's how I met Jabbo. But Jabbo was always cool, man. Once again, man, rest in peace to Jabbo, man. Like real cool guy, man. One of the OGs, man. Dope, you know what I'm saying? So we, you know, got two boxes of Black and Milds, and we would split boxes. I mean, he get a box, I get a box, and because what the Black and Milds came in like a 4-pack or something like that or whatever back then. So, you know, we both had 4 Black and Milds apiece, and we just on the block just puffing Black and Milds. I love Black and Milds. So one day we was on the block chilling. He comes up with this stupid idea. Hey, bro, we should go, since we always in that store all the time. I mean, you know, mind you, now the store was Black owned. The store was Black owned. And the sad part about it is the store was owned by our next door neighbors. The same next door neighbors that I just got done telling y'all about, who've been our next door neighbor for years. And to this day, they're still our next door neighbors. They the ones who own the store and ran the store. So they knew me. My next door neighbors, they knew me. They knew who I was. Stupid. So he said, man, you know, we can go hit a lick, man. We go hit a lick. We kind of lick. Hey, yo, yeah, we could go to the store, you know what I'm saying, and, you know, and steal some stuff, man. What we stealing some money? Nah, man, we gonna steal some Black and Milds. Steal some Black and Milds? Okay. We ain't even going to the store to steal no money. We going to steal some Black and Milds. Okay. Cool. My dumb ass agreed with it. So we set it up. This is what we gonna do. This is, you know, we gonna meet tomorrow morning at this time of morning and blah, blah, blah. All right, cool. No doubt. You know, my grandma she got to get up and go to work at 5 o'clock. She got to be to work at 5 o'clock anyway, and this and that, so we could just, you know, meet up then. All right, cool. No doubt. All right. So we'll meet at your crib, and, you know, so we made the plans to meet up at his crib. But like I say, he lived right around the corner from me. So we made plans to meet up at his crib the next morning, and we going. Now, mind you, this is a school morning. You know, we got to be to school. So we up super early. So at the time, my uncle was living with us as well. So usually, you know, at my grandmother's house, we go out the back door. You know, we use the back door is always used. That's the door we always went out. We hardly ever went out the front door. But this particular time, I went out the front door because I didn't want my uncle, because I know my uncle was down there on the couch sleep. And I ain't want my uncle to be like, nephew, what you doing up this time of morning? Where you going this time of morning? Negro, you 14, 15 years old. Where you going this time of morning? School ain't getting ready to start. Where you going this time of morning? I ain't want him to be questioning me, so I sneaks out the front door. And I leave the front door unlocked so I could come back in the house once we got done doing what we had to do. So meet him there. I meet him there at his house, and we walk up the street to the store. So we went to the back of the store. The back of the store had this like see-through shed part that, you know, that you can walk into, that you got to walk into before you go through the back door. So I'm like, man, but there's a door hooked on to that see-through shed part. So I'm like, dang, I don't know if we can get through this door. So he turns the knob, he's like, boom, and the door opens. So he was like, voila. Then I said, oh, okay, cool. So maybe We could just go and just go through the other door. Just walk through this back door right here that leads into the store. Man, please. That door was locked. So we doing everything we can to try to get in that door. We trying to get in that back door, I think we had like some hammers and some screwdrivers or something like that, man. That we bought with us, man. It was, whatever we had, we had problems getting through that doggone door. So there's a house directly next door, and a window, on the side of that house is a window, like a window to somebody's room. And I knew the young lady who lived there, went to school with the young lady who lived there. So I knew her, she knew me. So what happened was we're trying to get into the store or whatever. We're trying to break into the store or whatever. And she hears the noise because we making a whole lot of noise. And she hears the noise and she opens the blind. So when she opens the blinds or whatever, I think it was because I think he was still down. I saw he was down low trying to do something to unlock to break the chain or whatever he was doing. I can't remember, but I know I got down before she could see me. So I said, "Hey man, somebody just looked out the window." And saw us. I said, but I ducked down just in time. So he was like, "Oh yeah." He said, "Well, just keep going. Let's keep going." All right, cool. So we kept going. I knew something told me that we needed to leave. You know what I'm saying? But following his direction, because like I said, I kind of look up to him. Let's keep going. Let's keep moving. So we keep going. We're making a whole bunch of noise. Then the young lady looks again, pulls down the blinds again, and boom, and the second time she pulled down the blinds, her and my homeboy locked eyes. They look right at each other. So I'm like, bruh, we need to get up out of here, bruh, for real. He like, nah, let's keep going. Let's keep going. So I'm like, all right. So during that time, we gonna keep going. Next thing I know, about 5 minutes later, I hear, I'm like, what's that? I look around, it's the police. I'm like, bruh, it's the police. It's pigs, 5-0, one time. I'm like, bruh, it's the police. Let's go. I'm talking about they slide up, get out the car. Come here. Man, I ran because I had a red and white jacket on that one of my other homeboys had let me borrow because me and him had switched jackets at school. So I gave him mine, he gave me his for a while. I forgot why we even did that, but we just all of a sudden decided to switch jackets. I don't know. So I had my other homeboy jacket on. It was a red and white jacket. So man, I come up out of there and I'm gone. I'm talking about, and I'm super fast at this time. I'm like, I got lightning speed at this time because I'm a little young jit, man. And I'm gone. I'm talking about, man, I was running so fast, man, to the back of my heels was kicking me in my own ass. I'm gone. Police had to call him. He couldn't run. He couldn't do nothing because he was too far up in the shed thing to even run. Me, I was right there by the door. So that's how I got away. And I'm like, choom. Police couldn't catch me. I'm gone. I got crackhead speed around this time. Choom. I'm gone. Choom. Jump the ditch. Ran across my auntie yard. Ran across my great grandma yard. On back to the house. So I get back to the house. Remember I told you I kept the front door unlocked. So I went back in through the front door, locked it, went back into my room, took my jacket off, and I'm laying down in the bed. So I'm like, I'm sweating because I'm running and I'm nervous. I'm like, man, whoo. Oh yeah. I'm like, man, whoo. Kept looking out the window. I'm like, dang, man, they got my homie, man. Dang. Oh, man. So where I grew up, the house I grew up in my neighborhood, I grew up in a cul-de-sac, what you call a cul-de-sac. For those of y'all who don't know what a cul-de-sac is, is an area where it's only one way in and one way out. That's a cul-de-sac. So with me, where I live, where I grew up at, it's one way in and one way out. It's still that way to this day. It's one way in and one way out. So, and you got to go around a curve before you get to my crib. So I'm still saying, look, I said, I don't see no police cars coming around the curve. All right, cool. Homie kept it real then. Cool. Now I'm starting to calm down because about 30 minutes done passed by. About 30 to 40 minutes done passed by. I don't see any police cars. I don't see nobody coming around the curve. So now I'm starting to calm down. Now I'm starting to feel like I didn't got away with it. All right, cool. They got him, but I'm straight. Whoo. But then, just so happened, look out the window one more time. Saw a police car coming around the curve. I said, oh, man, they coming to get me, man. They're coming to get me, man. So I lay in the bed, pretend like I'm asleep, snoring. Oh, I mean, all the time. I mean, I'm just, I'm just laying it on real thick. I'm just pretending. So I hear the car stop. And I hear a door open. Police officer gets out the car, comes and knocks on the back door. My uncle's still down there asleep. My uncle opens the door for him. How can I help you? Yeah, we're looking for blah, blah. They say my name. And I heard him talking the whole time. So he was like, okay, he in here. What's going on? What's going on? So he walks to my room. So I'm playing like I'm asleep. He walks in. He was like, hey, I got the police right here. They looking for you. What did you do, nephew? What did you do? So I'm like, I ain't do nothing, Unc. I ain't do nothing, man. I don't know what they here for. What y'all want with me? So he was like, no, don't tell that lie. You started running when we pulled up. You started running. And actually, and matter of fact, that's the red and white jacket you had on right there. Yeah, we gonna take this in for evidence and all this and that. So I'm like, no, that wasn't me. My friend had let me borrow this. That wasn't me though. Oh yeah, that was you. This is the jacket right here you had on. Yeah, you coming with us. Say, yeah, you're under arrest. So they slapped the bracelets on me. I'm walking outside because I'm like, man, and I'm thinking to myself, like, how did the police know where I live? Because they didn't know me. They didn't know me from a can of worms. They didn't know me from Adam's cat. How did they know where I live? They didn't see my face. They don't know my name or none of that. So, and then he just looks and says, yeah, you was running when we got outside. He's like, yeah, you was running. Yeah, that was you because your friend right here said so. Yeah, they put the flashlight on him. They rolled the window down. It's like, yeah, is this the one who you was with, right? Yeah, that's him. He the one set the whole thing up. Yeah, his name such and such, and he set the whole thing up. I was like, what? Did this Negro just? Because I know I didn't come up with this plan. But to get out of trouble, you know what I'm talking about? He snitched on the brother. I mean, I'm like, oh my gosh. He just snitched on me. So, we get down to the police station and, I don't know what they did with him. I just know with me, because I was a minor, they called my grandma and I wish they would have gave me an option of whether I wanted to go to juvie or call my grandma. I would have chose to go to juvie. Don't call my grandma. Like, she's scarier than any type of juvenile detention center or whatever. Like, I don't know. Take me to juvie. So, but they called my grandma. And my grandma had to get off work. They had to let her know what went on. She had to get off work, come get me. And I mean, my goodness. I mean, you talking about pissed. Man, to say that she was pissed is an understatement. I mean, she was furious. Like, and I mean, because she had kept telling me not to hang out with him. Stop hanging out with him. He's a bad influence. But I couldn't see it until the end. And so, man, we got home. All, you know what I'm saying? My cousins came over there before we went to school because we still had to go to school. But she told me to stay home that day. I stayed home that day. And but my cousins was over there, and I'm talking about, when I say she whooped my behind in front of my cousins, I mean she made me go get the switch. And I mean, just imagine being whooped, you know, for what feels like hours, and getting hit in the same spot over and over and over again. I mean, that was just traumatizing. I just still thinking about that time now. I'm still traumatized by it. So what they did was they you know, because I was a minor, I think they just put me on house arrest for like a few weeks or so, about a month or so. They put me on house arrest, so I couldn't go nowhere. So they told me if they ever saw me, if they see me out walking the streets or whatever for this, you know, while I'm supposed to be on house arrest, then they gonna lock me up. So I had to stay home. My mama wouldn't, my grandma wouldn't let me go nowhere. So, yeah. So, and with him, I don't know what happened. I never saw him again. Even to this day, I never saw him again. Haven't seen him in years. So to this day, I don't know what's going on with him. I honestly don't even know if he even dead or alive. Whatever happens to him, you know what I'm saying, wherever he is right now, man, I wish him the best. I really do wish him the best, because I can't even say that I wouldn't have done that to him. You know, I mean, I'm a kid. We're both kids at the time, so we don't, you know what I'm talking about, we don't know nothing about, you know, the streets or this street code or whatever. We don't, you know, of no snitching. We don't know. So I can't, you know, so if the shoe was on the other foot, would I have done the same thing, or would I have kept it real? You get what I'm saying? So I don't, you know, if I had a chance to, you know, to not get in trouble, you know what I'm saying? So but like I said, I don't know what happened to him. I don't know. But I know I never saw him again after that. Never. And, yeah. And so once I got off house arrest, I was able to continue to keep living my life. And, you know what I'm saying? That worked itself out, because like I said, I never saw him again. And it made her happy as well, because, you know, she knows that, okay, he's gone and he can't have any more of an influence on me. So, so yeah. I say all that to say this. Watch the company you keep. You never know how your friends truly are until you get into a real situation. Everybody claims to be a gangster until some gangster-ish happens. Everybody claims to be real until a real situation happens. Everybody claims to be a friend until that friendship gets tested. And you will see who's really who once that friendship is tested. The friendship was tested. And he ratted me out in order to get out of trouble. So I saw the kind of person that he was. I saw who he truly was, because it was a real situation that happened. You may think that these people around you are your friends, and you may have you a bad chick that you running with, and you got the homeboys, you got the homies around you, and you think that these people are your friends until you mess around and get locked up and get sent to the pokey for something crazy, and now you in a real situation, and guess who's trying to smash your chick now? Your homeboys. The ones who say they riding for you. The ones who say they riding with you. Your so-called day ones. You never know. Be very careful of the company you keep, because your friends, something I learned a long time ago, is that your friends prophesy your future. If you want to know where a person is going to be in the next 5 years, look at the people they hang around. If you hang around a bunch of drug dealers, then guess what you're going to become? A drug dealer. If they hang around a bunch of troublemakers, then guess what they're going to become? Troublemakers. If a person is hanging around a whole bunch of murderers and thieves, then guess what they're going to become? Murderers and thieves. You become, you know what I'm saying, you are who you hang with. My best advice that I could give anybody is to hang with somebody who's doing better than you, so that they can teach you how to come up. So they can teach you a different mindset for yourself and for your family. You gotta watch how you move out here. Watch how you move out here. Don't put too many squares in your circle. It's the reason why parents always ask the kids, oh, this person, I see you hanging with this person. Who this person folks is? Who is this person folks? Who they kin to? Because because they know that this family has a bad history, a history of doing criminal activity, then they know that this person is bound to go down the same road. So there's a reason why parents ask, who was that? You got your little friend around here. Who was that? Who is folks? Who is people? But again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Please, please, please share the content. Help me grow this channel. Help me get this channel up in the YouTube algorithms. All right. It's your boy Southern Cal.